here's the story from the Intelligencer. Here's the story from the Intelligencer. Jill Biden becomes involuntary model in Trump Cologne ad.
Involuntary.
Look at this image.
Hey.
It's Jill Biden looking at Trump and smiling, and it says, "A fragrance your enemies can't resist."
I love that.
And Trump is selling the Fight perfume and cologne collection.
She loves him. She really loves him.
Look, people
This
that
is-
spend
come on.
time around Donald Trump can't help but be like, that guy's all right.
Uber charisma.
So you said lawful neutral? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think he's lawful neutral.
He is certainly not neutral when he does things like this.
No.
He's
This is
super
chaotic.
charismatic.
It's
This is
chaotic good. He's chaotic good.
He loves to be loved. And
This is
Joe
chaotic.
didn't show up. She needed somebody there to talk to.
Whoa.
Hey,
The other guy's wife.
DJT's down to party, man.
Look, he's definitely. I think that the closest thing for Donald Trump is chaotic good. You can never tell what he's going to do. He genuinely wants good things in the end. He wants good things for America. He doesn't want war. He doesn't want to hurt people unless necessary, which is like, Soleimani he killed, but that was because, he had political justification for that. Whether you agree with it or not, the point is that he's not out there thinking, I'm just going to go and start wars to start wars. He's not a Dick Cheney. He's not looking to start wars so he can profit off wars. He makes way more money by having positive business dealings than he ever would by being at
this.
war.
Look at this. I was thinking about buying some and giving them out for Christmas. I think it's a good idea.
Oh, Trump cologne.
I think it's a great idea.
We got to at least get one.
There's perfume too.
Sample the
women's
smell.
perfume. Look at the perfume. So he didn't put himself standing tall on it on the women's bottle. It just says fight, fight, fight. But I'm like, dude, this is the best Christmas gift ever for your liberal family members.
We should have one on the table so everybody can get a whiff.
It's $200 though,
He
man.
knows how to sell it. Look at that. A golden
You can
Trump
smell
statue.
like Donald Trump.
Oh, he looks like Superman in that, like Clark Kent.
Limited edition numbered collectible cologne celebrates President Trump's historic victory. I gotta get some.
I
It
appreciate
arrived.
it.
Oh, it ships in March.
Oh man, back order.
I wanted to get this for Christmas.
They're probably like trying to keep up with demand because as soon as he started advertising,
You might be able to pull some strings and get a early.
Hey, they're probably not made yet.
Yeah, that's true. I got it, man. I have so much gratitude for this guy. Now, as time goes on and the amount of personal sacrifice he's put himself through. And at one point I was
totally
like, it's
true.
all ego, but he
Do you-
really cares, man.
And you remember when he got 2 scoops of ice cream, but everybody else got 1? Think about the kind of sacrifice someone like him would have to make. Normally he'd go for 4, but he chose to do only 2 scoops.
The big ask.
That was a funny thing where CNN made a segment where they were like, Trump gets 2 scoops, everyone else gets 1.
I tell you what, if I was the president, I would get 2 as well. And I bet you if someone said, hey, can I have another scoop? Donald Trump would say yes. I bet he wouldn't say no.
He'd just be like, why are you
Certainly
asking
not.
me? I don't know. The ice cream's over there. And they did that thing where they're like his salt and pepper shakers were bigger than everyone else's. And I'm like, dude, I don't think Trump manages the salt and pepper shakers. These people are insane.
Yeah, that's true.
Like anybody who's ever gotten catering, you're not going to be like, and make sure at my seat in the table, I have the big. They're going to be like, what?
Don
You don't
might
have those.
Don might
No,
have
he
done that.
doesn't.
It's like, make sure I have the biggest and the best salt and pepper shake.
Someone
They're just so
else,
absurd. They
someone
just-
else may have done that. Someone preparing it be like, give Don the big
He
shake.
hires people and he's like, always make sure that I get the biggest and the best of everything. Make sure.
2
I mean, he's
scoops
a
for
show.
me.
He's definitely a showman. He's kind of less of a showman since he got into politics, and he's more about just.
I don't
getting
know.
it
When he
done.
started, he was very much a showman.
Yeah,
Now I think he's just pissed.
and like really,
He said
been
that
through hell.
He said the J6 committee should be in jail. Yeah.
in the Doge,
He's all out of to give. I
he's
think.
like, good. Elon, Vivek, take over. We're slashing the
I
bureaucracy.
really hope that is a legit thing, that they do a good job with that, because I frankly am dubious that anyone has the guts to deal with our debt problem. I just don't know in a democracy if that is a solvable issue when the votes really depend on getting, an older demographic to support you and to support your party. And I just feel like any real solutions to the debt problem, it's going to have to involve cuts to Social Security, raising retirement age. I mean, won't it?
Yeah. This is an extremely unpopular truth. If you have a significant amount of growth annually, you can manage the debt that we have, but I don't think that fixes the problem. I think that there have to be cuts, or at the very least, there has to be a halt on spending while the country grows. So as long as whoever is in the position to make financial decisions for the country isn't talking about cutting or preventing the increases, stopping the growth of the debt, stopping the growth of the deficit. If they're not talking about that, then they're not talking about fixing the problem. Right now, I just looked it up the other day. Right now, without changes, Social Security, Medicare go insolvent in 2033. That's 8 years. So, I mean, if you want to actually fix the problem, because all of the fear mongering that they're going to do about, hey, grandma's going to be thrown out of, she's not going to get the care she needs, and they're going to steal from grandma and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
All of that stuff doesn't matter because it will be worse if the dollar becomes insolvent.
Right.
It'll be worse for them. It'll be worse for everybody in the country, first of all, and it'll be the most bad for the people that are most vulnerable. The poor people, the people that are old, they will suffer more from that, from the dollar becoming insolvent than from anything else.
And we see that. By the way, I'm not crying over the debt. Just having an allergy attack, ill-timed. But
Nah, she's crying over
So
the
you scratched your eye earlier.
If there's anything to cry over when it comes to government stuff, it's the debt.
It is.
No,
It
but
is wrong.
I hope though, like I know Elon and Vivek, like they talk a great game but I don't know if anyone has it in them to really address the debt problem in the way that it has to be. But maybe so.
I can.
Maybe
I know how to do it. You got to fix the energy. You got to fix our fuel economy. Basically, right now we're heavily reliant on carbon. We're too
Graphene.
Graphene's cool.
Graphene's carbon.
Graphene is carbon. Graphene's
Down with
That's
graphene.
one material we can create. But what's happened is we've become plastic.
Gravity.
Carbon, it's legit. Like oil and coal are super legit, but we're heavily reliant on it. Too heavily reliant for our economy to thrive.
Geothermal,
So we need hydrogen fuel.
Nuclear.
And they figured out
geothermal
geo's legit, but it's not fuel. Nuclear is legit, but it's not fuel. Fuel is transportable, and hydrogen is transportable. So we can retrofit our methane pipes to transport hydrogen. And they figured out with this flash joule heating where they electrify carbon and turn it into graphene. They give off hydrogen
I don't
as a
think
byproduct.
we're going to change a centuries long oil infrastructure
But that's the actual, like, Elon and Vivek are great at slowing the bleed. They're slowing it down. But if we really want to push forward now that we've mitigated the detritus, we need a new fuel. And it's hydrogen.
People are wondering what's up with Colonel Kurtz's eye. I sprayed her with the Trump perfume when she walked in, and she's having a reaction to it.
No, I told them I had I scratched my eye, and then I think I don't know if it's allergies or it's just kind
Probably
of making
dehydration. Do you want water?
I really am crying though. Over
I'll get
the
you
debt.
some water. Water helps me.
I've got water here.
Got it?
Listen,
Never mind then.
the debt is something
crying
worth
over
crying
debt.
over. The debt is something you should cry
That's
over.
terrifying.
I'm like the Indian in the pollution commercial.
So once we make fuel
A
cheaper,
pollution commercial, like it was in favor of pollution.
No, remember,
Yeah. The guy throws a litter out the
Anti-pollution.
window, and then he looks, and then a tear
Right.
comes down. I just love that the notion there that it was like, for the average American, the Native Americans cared substantially more about the land than you. That was the message. Like, you're insulting these people. It's like you've stolen everything from them. Look what you're doing.
yeah, I was feel bad about what you've done.
Effective commercial.
I actually have a lot of hope and faith in the economy because the other thing that's going to happen is the United States is going to adopt crypto as part of its like portfolio, and then the people without crypto are going to be destitute. This is a potential future, and then there will be an income equality war or some sort of like civil
You think
conflict.
that's going to happen, or
That's if we don't step on the gas literally and upgrade our fuel systems to integrate hydrogen, it's going to be a big economic split with the people that had crypto and the people that didn't, because the U.S. dollar's insolvent. It can't. We can increase the value of our GDP by enhancing our fuel economy, by making new fuel sources that are cheaper to make. That will increase our GDP, which then makes 36 trillion actually only 10 trillion. It still says 36 on paper, but everything's 3 times cheaper, so that 36 trillion can buy you $120 trillion worth of stuff.
Or we just drill more oil.
We should be doing that because
Alaska.
you can turn the oil into graphene. You can reuse this even if you don't use it for fuel. The carbon in the oil, it's still super valuable. Plastics, all this transportable, and you can convert it into building materials. So yeah, we can really step it up. I think it all relies on the fuel, man.
I've heard they're making. I don't know. I haven't done any kind of actual digging, but I've heard they've made some really significant advances in battery technology.
Oh yeah, solid state batteries were a big deal a couple years ago that they had figured out how to do that, and that means they can be very, very small and have tons of energy.
They figured out how to use nuclear waste in diamond batteries. They'll
Oh
encase it in
yeah,
diamond.
there was this thing I read about how it's like a tiny piece of radioactive like material or whatever, and it just powers it forever.
Yeah, I think it causes like a vibration in the lattice of the crystal of the diamond, and then it causes like this slow energy pulse because it's constantly. I think it's might be piezoelectric because it's constantly like.
They've been talking about that for a while, where you would your cell phone would charge as you walked from the vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this before too with that flashlight that you would whack off.
Oh yeah,
You ever see those? It has the magnet in the middle, and so you go like this, and it sends the magnet back and forth through the copper coil, and then it charges the battery.
you could get a really big one too if you wanted. Probably.
Or you could get two of them.
You could definitely get two.
Like a good time.
Yeah, it'd be really, really fun.
And I guys, the people who make the clips of the show are like, guys, we've already memed these. We've already turned them into GIFs. There's no point in doing it again.
Not everything's about you guys.
Dude, battery tech is super promising because I think
Yeah.
there's like huge leaps constantly.
Well,
right
because
now.
I mean, if you could like double or triple the current battery storage capability for batteries and stuff, then you really make nuclear like it makes nuclear almost a no-brainer because nuclear is super efficient. The actual nuclear waste, people think of like green sludge, but it's actual metal rods that are encased in concrete and metal. And if I understand correctly, there's never been any kind of problem with the nuclear waste material. It's not liquid. It's not like the green sludge that made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's easy to store and it's easy to transport. There was a big car accident when they were transporting it, and there was no damage to the vessel that the nuclear waste is carried in. And again, people think of liquid that's going to ooze everywhere. They're metal rods, and they're encased in concrete and metal. So it's not like it isn't what people think it is. Nuclear is the way, man. Nuclear is the actual solution to our energy problems, especially if you get serious battery storage.
Is Elon a proponent of nuclear?
He's pro nuclear. Yeah, he thinks that solar is the be all end all.
Solar?
Dude, solar is
He
so-
says solar. He thinks that if I understand correctly, he thinks that that eventually we'll be able to get the efficiency of solar panels to like quadruple.
Who cares about solar panels? You point some mirrors at a vat of water, and it boils the water and spins a turbine,
Maybe.
and then we're done.
and the mirrors could be in orbit, and the vat could be on Earth. Like the orbital
Yeah,
solar is really a lot.
But
of potential.
it's just easier to have an array of mirrors. So there was this viral
yeah.
post where someone flew over Vegas and they were like, "Yo, what is this?" And there's two towers with mirrors pointed at them, and all it is a gigantic vat of, I think it's salt water.
molten salt. It's just salt. It's just molten salt.
In the thing.
Yeah, and it melts and then
sunlight
stays
hits
hot
it,
overnight. It
and
boils
then,
water.
Right, and then it boils the water, and then the steam pressure as it's exiting is spinning a turbine, which
Those things are massively productive energy-wise, but they're not transportable. But damn, they put out a lot of power.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.